Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. Hey, check this out. Um, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to show some tough love, and then sometimes you got to call a spade, and sometimes you have to just keep it 100. And I'm gonna keep it 100, and I gotta say something about a fake story that's brewing, that's going on in the in community, in our in particularly our community, the black community, is something that Steven Jackson, former NBA player Steven Jackson, said, a quote that he issued from one of his social media accounts. I think it was Instagram, and he was just talking about some issues that he had with his kids. And basically, you have some media outlets and YouTubers like basically misquoting what he saying, basically to have an excuse to basically attack him and try to secretly attack black men and categorize all black men based off Stephen Jackson's quotes, which people are misinterpreting what Steven Jackson said, because at the same time I've made these videos and I've used that same terminology towards the sisters, as well as I've used certain terminology towards the brothers. Okay. But in case you guys don't know, uh Steven Jackson, who hosts the show All the Smoke with Matt Barnes, Matt Barnes is a former NBA player as well as Steven Jackson. Now, in case you guys don't know, they're saying Steven Jackson has made at least $100 million from playing in the NBA and investment. So Steven Jackson is doing very well as far as financial reasons go. But basically, he was just telling the story about how he has children, and he says he's paid his child support, and he said he's had issues with the mothers of his children. He says he said he has, I think, 5 children. He didn't say how many. Uh, I don't want to use that term, baby mama. I'll just say he has 5 children with multiple women. But he was just talking about what was going on with him. He said he had trouble with the mothers of his children because of basically financial reasons. Basically, in certain cases, when he stopped paying child support, basically he was hinting that the mothers was trying to turn his children against him. Now, I went through situations similar to that when I was young, but I'm not going to get into that. But basically, he gave some words of advice. He said, in quote, I can't go verbatim, but he said, in quote, he said this is a message pretty much to the young brothers. He said, get you one woman to have. See, nobody is bringing up that part. He said basically, make sure you find the right woman, and he say procreate with that one woman. He say basically try not to have multiple kids by multiple women, and he said in particularly don't date a you know BBW, which some terminologies that mean a bitter black woman. But what's going on? You have certain media outlets that are misquoting what he said, like in particularly, and I don't usually name names, but I'm gonna say this: you have people like Paris Milan, who's known for always taking shots at black men. Because at the end of the day, Paris Milan is really an undercover swirler, and she just like she on that Cynthia G shit. No matter that, just constantly attack black men. But these are the same black women that don't like guys like Tommy Sotomayor, but they pretty much the black female versions of Tommy Sotomayor, who are always constantly attacking and chopping up black men. But then they try to have the audacity to try to say they trying to help black men. How are you trying to help black men when you always putting them down? But it's funny, you got the Cynthia G's of the world that refer to black men as beta males, dusty beta males, and all that type of shit. But then she sat down and procreated with a dude that's known for basically raw dogging everything and hypocritical. But she say she want a certain type of black man, but she sat down and laid up with a black man that she was referring to as allegedly being Steven Jackson, that had multiple kids by multiple. Yeah, and I'm going there. I'm not worried about no Paris Milan. Ain't nobody worried about Paris Milan. That's just real talk. And I had to say her name because she's misquoting what the man said. He did not say don't be with black women. He did not put black women in a category as a whole, saying black women ain't shit. And that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these anti-black man female channels that are out there, the Paris Milans, the Christine Carazon, Cynthia G, a couple of other people. So they misquoted what the man said. He did not say, do not be with a black woman. He said, do not date a bitter black woman. And I've talked about bitter black women that's mad at the world, that's been conditioned to have nothing but contempt and disrespect for black men, and who raises other black men, young black men, to grow up and have contempt for black men. And that's why you have this cycle where black men can commit acts of violence or have vitriol and hatred for a black man, but then will care about everybody else but the person that looks like him, that is basically taught self-hate by his mother. Okay? The man did not say don't date black women, but you have people titling that, saying that he categorized all black women. He did not do that. Nobody is quoting the part where he said get you one woman and have children with her. And see, this is what you call irresponsible, journalism, or reporting, whatever you want to call it. You got to say the whole thing. You got to quote everything. Don't just take bits and pieces and turn something positive into a negative so you can get views and shit, and so you can have a certain demographic or a certain type of audience that want to come on that particular video and sit up here and attack black men and say, oh, black men ain't shit. And we have enough people doing that, and it's got to be said. We already have enough of that. We get it from everybody. We got black women constantly attacking us on a regular basis. Not all, but then you have non-blacks. You even got gay black dudes attacking black men, saying that we not advancing because we straight. What kind of shit is that? I really wish I could say what should happen to that dude, but I don't want that to be considered, because if I say what should happen to him for that quote, then that'll be considered hate speech. So I'm not gonna say nothing. But you know what's up. You know what's up. That's just blatant disrespect. So I think people need to be more responsible in what type of content they put out as far as those type of subjects go. I was going to leave it alone at first until I saw a couple of videos basically where they're misquoting what that man is saying just so they could get views and shit. And that's not fair. So I'm just keeping it 100. But that's all I wanted to say about that. Steven Jackson is being misquoted, or you're cherry picking his quotes. If you gonna put out that part, put out everything he said, where he said don't have multiple children by multiple women. Find you one person to settle down with, and that's who you procreate with. That's all I'm saying. Keep it 100, because some of these women that's putting out these videos, they displaying themselves as a bitter black woman. Because I done talked about bitter black men too. One thing about town business, you can't say I'm a male chauvinist, I'm misogynistic, because I didn't let everybody have it. I let more black men have it than black women. So don't come on here saying I'm caping for Steven Jackson. Because if that's the case, then what about all the time I was caping for the sisters? So you can save that shit, and I ain't worried about none of you Paris Milan or Cynthia G supporters. Because if you say something too reckless, I'm gonna block your ass. So that's all I got to say. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.